Hey there and welcome to Gartenzeile. The winter season has begun and it's time to get the chainsaws ready for use in the garden. One important measure is sharpening the chainsaw chain. If it's dull, not only is it more difficult to work, but the chainsaw itself can be damaged. Today we want to demonstrate two methods on how you can sharpen your chainsaw chains, enabling you to have a great time with chainsaw work in the future. Enjoy! The chainsaw chain has numerous small cutting teeth that grip the wood similar to a plane and plane it off. The chain size also varies depending on the size of the chainsaw. The size is indicated, among other things, by the chain pitch measurement. She describes the distance between one chain link and the next link, which is divided by 2. The chain pitch is provided in inches, for instance 3/8 inch, which is additionally the most prevalent chain pitch. In order for the chainsaw chain to glide smoothly around the guide bar and reliably cut through the wood, it should be regularly cleaned and, above all, sharpened. Firstly, we would like to demonstrate how to manually sharpen. Prior to sharpening the chain, it is taken off from the guide bar, enabling both to be swiftly cleaned at once. To clean, you can use either a lint-free cloth or air from a compressor for effective results. Even the void is suitable for it. Now the chain should be clamped back into the chainsaw. Above the drive links is the sawtooth, which ultimately cuts through the wood, as well as the depth gauge, which limits the tooth's penetration depth into the wood. You gotta work on these two parts of the chain when sharpening. You'll need a suitable round arrow for that. The rule of thumb is that if the arrows protrude 1/10 to 1/5 beyond the tooth roof, the size of the arrows is well chosen. The arrows that you should use for your chain are also stated in the instruction manual provided by the manufacturer. You need to ensure the chain and guide bar are secured, for instance, using a clamp. Next, look for the shortest, dullest, and most damaged cutting tooth on the chain. Did you manage to find him? Measure the length of the tooth using a caliper and engage the chain brake mechanism for safety purposes. To ensure even length of cutting teeth, it is recommended to take this measurement for maximum precision. By the way, the same applies to the parts of the depth limiter. You should try to make the individual links as uniform as possible so that the chainsaw can saw reliably. The file is now clamped into a file holder. You firmly grasp the file holder with both hands at the ends and carefully position it horizontally on the cutting edge of the sawtooth, making sure it is not crooked or misaligned. The file should also be applied at an angle of 25 degrees to 35 degrees for optimal results. As you move the file outward in even continuous motions, here you simply file with minimal pressure until the tooth is sufficiently sharp. To ascertain when you have sanded the entire chain, you can mark the first cutting tooth by utilizing a marker pen for reference. Additionally, it is advisable to initially file all the teeth in one direction and then proceed with the other half. Then the depth limiter is also filed. To do this, you lay a file gauge on the chain. If you exclusively feel an edge between the depth limiter and the void, it necessitates to be ground down a bit. The best way to do that is with a flat file. Just so you know, manual filing also requires some experience. As a beginner without proper training, there's a risk of damaging the chain when sharpening it manually, especially if you don't use the correct filing technique. That is the reason why, for individuals who do not have frequent interactions with chainsaws, there exist chain sharpening tools, such as the GC-CS85i manufactured by Einhell. This grinder takes care of filing down the grinding tooth for you, as you can conveniently adjust the degree on the device. We've already shown a detailed product description and how to use it in another video. We've provided the link for you in the video description. The grinding device is equipped with a clamping device into which the chain is inserted and then tightened. If one direction of the cutting teeth is filed, the clamping device can be adjusted to the same angle on the other side, allowing for sharpening of the other half of the cutting teeth. It is not possible to file the depth limiter with this grinder. We will need to utilize a flat file once again for this task. As you can see, sharpening the chainsaw chain isn't really that greasy. The advantage of the manual grinding method is that you can work more precisely. On the other hand, a grinding device is especially interesting for those who don't deal with chainsaws regularly. In the end, both sharpening methods achieve their goal, which is to make the chain sharp. It is still recommended to take a chainsaw course, because there you will not only learn about sawing techniques and the proper and responsible handling of the chainsaw, but also expertly taught how to correctly sharpen the chain. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, feel free to leave us a subscription so you don't miss any more videos. Feel free to check out our other chainsaw videos as well. We've tested a few models. You can find the links in the video description. If you're more of a fan of the written word and generally interested in the topic of gardening, feel free to check out our garden magazine at www.gartensailor.de. See you next time.